And we're live. Welcome to Social Surge with Fly and Mo. Woohoo! We are live on the gram.
Oh, go live.
Go live. Click the buttons. We must click the buttons.
I haven't seen Fromage lately.
Yeah, where is Fromage?
You know, he travels so much, and I couldn't even tell you what time zone he's in right now. But
Fromage.
Okay. We're gonna be traveling soon, and that's what we're gonna be talking about today.
Yes. Plus. I am going to Vegas. I'm actually leaving today. So
what? Wait, what?
I'm going with my family to Vegas. Hold on. It is Social Surge with Fly and Mo. I'm Mo Regalado. Over there is Fly Demerson. We're so happy to have you with us today. We actually have a really great show that we're pretty excited about because conference season is here. It has been here for a while, but there's a lot happening. Like we've got Reconvene CREI Summit. They just had ICSC Florida. I know SAOR is coming up in November. That's going to be in Louisville. Whole bunch of stuff is happening. Baruch in Brooklyn, thanks for joining us. And good morning, Movo Media Marketing. You're on the wrong account. So we're
called out. I love this. Good morning, Dwayne. Part of our multi-platform fam. But I do, yeah. If you have people, I love this. Get notifications that you two are on, and you can set up notifications for people specifically in apps. Sometimes if you haven't gone into your settings in the apps, like it will automatically notify you anyway, because the apps, they want you watching, and apps really do push live stream content. They really, it's a big, go ahead.
My favorite live stream content to watch, honestly, when I catch it, is those the Chinese ladies that sell stuff. I literally watched a live video on TikTok of this woman selling dresses, and she was like ripping off the dress, and then she would like she was very skinny. So first of all, like, wow, props on you. But then she would like get the dress, lift it up with her foot, and just like flick it. And I was like, holy Hannah, it's like watching gymnastics along with yes, Regalado Real Estate. Thank you. That is better. He made my coffee.
But you can't, if you have people, I have several people who content I really enjoy, and and sometimes, they disappear into the feed, right? And so if you have folks that you really enjoy their content, or if you have folks that you would like to be adding value to and building relationships with and they're posting a lot of content, right? Because you like fill in the blank there. Come on. Turn on notifications for them and engage. It's great. It's great. It's very easy. I forgot what we were talking about. I wanted to say the CCIM C5 big event is happening in Chicago. I think the week after.
September. Yes.
Week after CREI Summit. So there's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on. So this is why we wanted to bring this up today. And also I'm going to Vegas, which is what I was saying. Not for a conference, going there for a concert. My son, when he was 3, used to watch a show called oh my gosh, I'm gonna blank on it. There are 4 boys from Minnesota that became a band, and Big Time Rush.
Oh, okay. I was about to say the Jonas Brothers, which
also
there's only 3 of them.
No, so it was
out of the loop.
Yeah, no, this was a show. I think it was on Disney Channel. It might have been on Nickelodeon. I don't remember which one it was on, but it was 4 hockey players. They end up becoming a boy band, and it's their hijinks in LA. And they were so just typical boys doing stupid stuff that when you have a 3-year-old little boy, that's like his jam, right? Like watching them run into each other wearing helmets. I mean, this was his thing. So he graduated this year. He's 18. And I happened to see that Big Time Rush, the original group, actually got together, made an album, and they've been touring.
That's wild.
So I got him tickets as a graduation present. So we're going as a family. It's in Vegas. We're pretty excited. It'll be a lot of fun. Plus, I've also been consuming a butt ton of content from content creators in Vegas of stuff to do. Because like my boy's 18, my girl's 16. It's not like they can go gamble. Hector and I are not big gamblers. Like if we go to a casino, I have like a $40 limit, and then I play that $40 as long as I can.
Which can't be very long.
No, I mean, sometimes I can play like an hour and a half off of 40
You're
bucks.
better at that. You want to know what that just said? That says more about my ability to gamble. I was sitting with some folks at ICSC and I was like, guys, this isn't, I'm not a
high roller.
You guys have fun. When there was like a big Matthews like poker tournament or whatever, and I was like, it went on for hours, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go.
I'm not a high roller. I'm a lint roller. Okay, I'll pick up a.
Sure. Okay, but so I mean, I love that you're going for leisure, and of course, when you go to conferences, there's and like so, you and I will be together at the CREI Summit, which is in 2 weeks.
I know.
Which that's very excited of me to say it that way when I have so much to do. But there's going to be a lot to see and do. There's going to be a lot of socialization happening. And then also, right, like you have your own work that you still need to be doing at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be like the schedules are packed always at conferences, and there's so many opportunities to create connection with people. And then specifically, and this is something that you and I are very like pro about and like on people about, is endless amazing opportunity to create content.
Right. Absolutely.
Content. Exclusive.
You're spending thousands of dollars to go to a conference, and then you don't tell people that you're there. That's actually one of the big mistakes I see, right? So with clients, I always make sure like, hey, do you have anything going on this month? Is there anything? I always look weird without my glasses on. I feel like they frame my face now, and I've worn them for forever. So anywho, you have, one of the big things that we do is like, hey, do you have something coming up? Do we need to make a graphic for it so we can post it for you? Because maybe there's somebody there in your network that is not aware that you're going to be at the same event that they are. And now all of a sudden you have this opportunity to connect in real life. And that's super important. And you have to imagine it's the adage of people are not thinking about you. They are thinking about themselves. So it's not rejection. It's not any of that stuff. If you don't hear back from a person, they're just not thinking about you. It's nothing bad. It's just we think about ourselves, right? So make sure that if you are going to a conference or something, you are announcing it somewhere. Maybe it's an email. And if you don't have email marketing, well, here's your sign. Send that out too. And then fill up your schedule so that you actually have a very productive conference. There's nothing worse than going to a conference and then coming back and going, well, I didn't really meet anybody. I didn't talk to anyone new. Well, that's on you. That's on you for not taking the step to actually go connect with people that you do not know. And Beth Azor she will tell you time and again, you should not spend more than 3 minutes with somebody that you know, because you already know them. It's great to say hello, hi. You need to go, except for us at CREI Summit.
Except for us, but but that's different. But it is and it's not. And but it is very helpful to have clearly defined goals. Going in about who do you want to talk to? What are you trying to get out of that? The CREI Summit specifically, and some of these other conferences are not necessarily deal-making events, right? But so at CREI, there's much more, educational, community building, like things like that. But different than while there is, programming at something like ICSC, or some of these other, larger institutional events. But there's a lot of deal making happening, and I'm sure there will be some deal making happening at CREI. You know what I mean? But it's like going into the conference on so many of these conferences. Attendee lists are made available. For some, maybe not others. I know for CREI Summit, if you log into the Whova, you'll be able to see, and also the benefit of some of these things is as opposed to combing through, the 50,000 names on the ICSC attendee list, which I did. There's going to be like 150 people there, right? It is and the same thing with, I don't know how many people are at, I don't know what the size is for Reconvene, or like, I know, Retail Live is happening, I think next week too. Like, going in, kind of understanding the landscape of, oh God, I'm gonna have to put in the swear jar, the landscape of what you're walking into, who's going to be there and everything. Again, really figure out what you want to get out of it, and don't just walk in without a plan.
Exactly. The other thing that you should also look at it from the perspective is content equals credibility, right? That people know that you were in the room, that you're a part of this industry, part of the community, you're in the know. And then you can share the stories and takeaways, which is better than just picking up a business card and then putting it in your pocket and then taking it out of your pocket and sitting it on your desk. I speak from experience, without having any discernible like action behind that as to like, who was this person? When did I meet them? What did we talk about? One of the things that I love that Alvaro Cortez did at SIOR, the spring conference, is he did individual interviews. They weren't super long, like a minute, maybe a minute and a half at the most. And he did all of this, in the moment interviewing, which was fantastic. And then he took it home and he started creating content from that. What's to say that you can't do the same thing? You absolutely could. I believe we'll start seeing. Yeah, you're stopping you, right? So this thing right here is perfect. It works great. It has a great camera. It has great audio. Now, that being said, if you're in a large conference hall and it's super loud, you can invest in little lapel mics that attach, that will not Wi-Fi, but Bluetooth.
I have a gear bag right here. Hold up. This bag is from Guns and Grits, which was an event that Ken had earlier in the year. But it is a part of the CREI cinematic universe. And so, do people understand what I mean when I say that? I said that to somebody the other day, and I think that they have never been to the movies, and so they didn't, like, they had never heard of the Marvel MCU, right? Anyway, yes. I'm just a nerd. But I have the mics, because when I was at ICSC, I had trash mics. I had trash microphones, and it really, really showed. And I'm at the point with my content where I am, I was like, I'm ready to start investing. I'm ready to start investing in higher quality tech, because I've had proof of concept. You don't need high quality tech, or even mid-quality tech to start doing it, right? Because if you can get the best stuff you can get the best stuff available on the market, but then if what you actually capture isn't compelling, it looks nice, but what was that for? But so, where are my microphones? Okay, first of all, I always have a battery pack. I always have 3. Actually got these at the last ICSC from Robin Hendricks. This Coldwell Banker. Oh, can we just love this merch for a second? Coldwell Banker band-aids.
Oh, I love those.
I have seen 0 other people do this, and this thing goes with me everywhere. Okay, but the reason I have my Remarkable, and I have my DJI little this guy to put my gimbal. But
yes, I have one of those.
Now I'm where are my microphones? Oh my God, I think they're not in here. No, they're right here. Okay, so these, they look like their little ear pod case. I highly recommend these. I think the price point is fairly accessible. It's $150 or something, 125. But the 2 mic brands I really like right now are DJI and Rode. This is Rode. Rode has some higher end ones. They look like the square boxes. What? Oh,
there you go.
Yeah. So all this is that this plugs into your phone.
Yep.
And then it has either a little clippy or a magnety. I'm spending all my time with a kindergarten, you guys. We have 45 minutes of homework every night. So
what? In kindergarten?
It's good. Okay. It's good.
Okay.
But it's a shift. Anyway, so there if you have a little extra cash on hand, and also the thing about investing in something like this, 150, these are going to last me until I decide to buy something more expensive, if I even feel like I need to, because the quality that I'm getting out of these is really, really solid.
I love Rode mics. That's one of my favorite mics to work with when I'm doing audio. Fantastic quality. there's a whole bunch of stuff, whole bunch of tech inside of those microphones, which helps with sound, I'm very much a radio girl and voiceover girl. So when I hear a real good crisp sound that is warm and not tinny, that sounds, you work in sound long enough, you can tell when something sounds round, when it sounds full.
Yeah.
And that, those are great mics. Yes, there's still other things that you would have to do to get real good crisp sound, especially if you were using Adobe Audition. There's a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah, there are all kinds of stuff in post-production and things like that, right? But like really focusing on, if you are going to a conference and you want to, put that out on social, like make a plan about how you're going to capture, make some connections with people that like are actual connections that you want to be making. And you want to know what? I have had a couple of phone calls with people in the last couple of days of like, they've reached out to me. They're like, hey, I know you're going to CRIA Summit and that it's going to be really busy. I just wanted to like say hi and like, hope we get a chance to connect. And like, so there is so much pre and post conference stuff that you can do. Like, but when you're in the room is like really the exclusive. And again, it is actually quite, there's so much stuff in front of you for you to be able to capture, but you do need to be very intentional about it because, and be ready to capture and take initiative because like the opportunities will be totally like all around you. And then like, you just need to be able to match the impulse to capture them.
One of my favorite things to do is especially like if you're at, when we were at SIOR, fall conference in Hollywood, I sat in on Lonnie Hendry's CMBS talk and went ahead and kind of live tweeted the whole thing, like big points that he was talking about. And I'm just doing it just for me, right? Like I want to have like, I would take pictures and I would add something. And of course, Lonnie always has a great shoe game. Like his shoes are amazing. If you ever talk to Lonnie about his shoes, that's like a whole content thing that we could do with him, which would be a lot of fun. But, that ended up picking up for me, that picked up like a couple new followers, people who are asking. I think Haley Keene retweeted us, or whoever's doing their social for TREP retweeted what I was talking about because of the fact that I was live tweeting this entire thing. To me, that makes sense. It is, it's something that I'm used to doing. You'll have to, if that's something you want to do, you have to make a practice of it. And sometimes, you might think that you're not like engaged in the audience, but as you're tweeting, this stuff starts sticking in your brain. So that's a way that you can show that you were in the room and that you're creating content without really thinking about creating content.
It's amazing. I mean, okay, so when I firmly believe that one of the lowest lift, simplest, highest value actions that you can take that you can give to others is like capturing content and creating content about them. And I don't think that is a surprise to anybody. It's something very common in my work. I love to create content with and for people and companies and brands that I feel really passionate about. Right. People, it's earned media for them. It's earned media for them. And so then, back when I was with 1031 and, we were at ICSC, Mike and I set meetings to, do a bunch of interviews with people who were our partners, people who were our peers and friends, and also prospects, right? And it's a little more challenging when it was like, you want to, do a video interview with a prospect, it's because that is a kind of an interesting relationship, to be like, do you want to do this with us? But, the way that we were doing it, sharing our audience, sharing our resources, sharing our time and effort into amplifying others. That whole video series, I think there was about 20. I think at this point it's been some time and I stopped looking at those numbers for obvious reasons. But the impressions were in the high triple digits and were reposted and shared on Crexy, on The Real Deal, on like numerous outlets with people that we were with, right? And so it is some people may not, let me reel it back. I fully, firmly believe that if you show up and care about the people that you want to amplify and highlight, and you're creating content for them that is for them and about them, like 100%, like is a brilliant brand play. I'm not trying to say I'm brilliant. I'm just saying, like, you cannot deny the results of that, what kind of visibility that does for you. Like, to get retweeted by Trump, or to get retweeted by, you know, Coldwell Banker, or like whatever these things, you know, it's like, it draws people into your audience. It's tapping into their audience. And I 100% fully, firmly stand by it as a part of a strategy, because it is built on actual natural relationships.
Yes,
It
absolutely.
doesn't always work if it's forced. Really, really hard to force a play like that. But if it's born out of, you actually are engaging with their content, you appreciate their content, you know what I mean? I don't know, like, some people have shared with me or made comments in the past that I'm going to just back away from that one. Never mind.
That's fine. I think utilizing the power of your platform is super important. And when you're dealing with prospects, especially when you're sharing your platform with them, that's huge. That is a huge benefit to a potential partnership. But it's also content for days, right? And we're always talking about, like, I have no content ideas. I don't know what to do. I'm just lost. Well, it's conference season, baby. Like, get your phone, get a good mic. If you don't have a mic, the mic on your phone is excellent. You just have to get to a quiet space, right? You just have to get somewhere quiet.
It also doesn't need to be a video. Like, it doesn't need to be this whole big production. Like,
Correct.
and also at the rate of, like, the way that things move in real time, both at conferences and online, snap a picture. Just have a picture, right? And then also, like, wait, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
So when we're talking about just snapping a picture and then posting it, when you do that, be intentional about it. What was the takeaway moment? What was the aha moment? What was the moment that got you to snap the picture? Why was that important? There's so many people that will take pictures of speakers on stage. Why did you take the picture of the person on stage? One, if you're not going to post it. Two, what was the takeaway? What was the main point that you got from this speech or this talk or whatever that made you go, I need a photo of this, right? Because that moment, that's the value. That's the value that you're sharing. You're not asking anything from anyone. You're not trying to get them to buy something from you. You're sharing your experience. And by sharing your experience, you're creating community. You might not see it like that, right? You might never, like, actually look at it from that perspective. But all these little pieces of micro content that you're creating makes a huge picture of what you're doing with your business and in your life. And that also draws people in. So say it's a picture of keynote speaker on stage, and now you tag that keynote speaker and their audience sees it, and now they get to know you based on that. It's huge.
Yeah, I mean, look, I said to a broker recently, it's like, documenting the fact that you were there also shows that, like, you're a person who is involved, you're a person who is, participating, and, like, you're a person that, I'm so sorry, other people want to be around.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because there are some people that other people do not want to be around them. You know what I mean? And so, like, there's so much. It's more than just, like, trying to induce FOMO or, like, bragging or, like, any of these things. Although, like, people, that as a part of the reason why this kind of content works, this kind of presence content works, is how I like to think about it. Is that, like, as you always say, like, people are nosy. They want to see, and, like, there are many people who will not be at these things who wanted to be there. Who also could, benefit from that. And so, it's showing that you were there. It's you're establishing your presence in association with some of these things. If you can make it even more valuable for your audience, outside of the people who you're creating earned media for, you're also creating earned media for the conferences themselves, right? I mean, there's so many that, like, there's a reason that like we see a surge of this content, right?
So I
go ahead.
want to, before we, so we're coming up on time.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I want to go over our tech stack real quick, but I also want to let you know that if you wonder, should I post this, right? If it pulled a reaction from you for some reason, then yes, you should post it. If it made you laugh, if it made you think, maybe it was a counterpoint that you weren't expecting to hear, right? Share it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Everybody wants perfection. It doesn't have to be perfect. Your perfect is going to stop you from actually posting content.
Yeah, and it's gonna be, and like you're gonna miss it. At ICSC, you know, I think that one of the and this happened at CREI too, was that you know, I did produce videos while I was on site in my regular way that I produce videos, which is really quite involved, right? And so I am at the point now where I can speed run a video and get it out in a pretty, you know, with a really, really quick turnaround. But was it worth having that perfection? Wow, I didn't mean to just say that. Was it worth trying to get a really high quality product that like I would normally get if I was in my normal workspace? Or did I sacrifice time that I could have spent connecting and like being more present in the room, right? And so it's a balance. So it's like, you know, I think, you know, posting a story, posting a tweet, posting stuff that's real time in the feed, that's just like a, you know, quick documentation, you know, quick thing, right? But you have to be primed and ready to do that. If there is a really high value piece that, you know, you want to put some time into, you know, when I did the Crexy interview, I ran back to the hotel room. It took me an hour to get that out, and then I ran back, and you want to know what, that was worth it. For a lot of reasons. But then it, you know, for some of the other videos that I've done, you know, I waited until everyone went to bed, and then, you know, was producing them, and then didn't get any sleep, you know. So it's like, what, it's always just a give and take, right? But
so for production quality, right? If your phone is fine, your phone is fantastic. A couple of things that we like to use is CapCut. CapCut on your phone is super easy. If you are not, like, last year at CREI Summit, when we first initially got there for the first, in fact, I was showing Robin Hendricks how to use it, and just showing her, okay, here's templates. Let's go ahead and take a bunch of photos and some like 7-second video. And then I put together this whole thing, and it looked beautiful. Like, the piece was beautiful. I chose good music, and then I put like a caption, whatever. It took maybe 5 minutes to do, right? I don't overthink the process. I don't overthink the pictures. I don't overthink anything. I just go in, boom, 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 do it, right? If you're not used to that, it's probably going to take you a little bit more time, and that's okay. But I also try to be super mindful that I want to make connections, and I want to be able to be in the moment. And if my mind is on production, if it's on post-production of content, I'm not going to be in the moment. So, but I do make time, right? I do make time to capture video, capture photos. Easiest thing is like when we're doing a selfie or something like that, then post it right away, right?
yeah.
But CapCut templates are super easy to use when you want to create content on the fly. But not content on fly, but on the fly.
About fly. No, don't do that either. No.
IG Edits, if you have that, it is a separate app. CapCut is also a separate app. IG Edits you don't have to pay for, though I'm sure they're going to try to monetize it sometime soon. Oh my gosh, it's Justin. Justin's in DC.
Speaking of CPC, right? But yeah, and then Descript is one that we're big Descript fans. Do they have a mobile app, or is that just on desk?
It's on desk. I think they're trying to come up with a mobile app. I don't know if it's active yet. I'm in their Facebook group, which is funny. Um, but they always put their latest updates on, and so they're working on a mobile app. Canva is also another great resource to use on the fly when
Yeah,
you
I
are
love the
making.
Canva mobile app. I'm sorry, I'm speaking over
No,
you.
you're good. No, it's the Canva mobile app is amazing. I don't think enough people understand how much they can do with Canva, and that actually might be another episode that we do. There is so much in Canva. It's literally the kitchen sink, right? It's everything and the kitchen sink. It has so much. So lots of stuff that you can do. So your workflow should look like this: shoot, edit, post, save to repurpose for later, right? So
Yeah.
shoot, quick edit. If it needs anything like that, post. That is the most important step. Post it.
Yeah.
Don't just let it sit on your phone forever and then you scroll through the 25,000 pieces of, yeah, I know.
I have so much more. You know what? But then it's also, you want to know, it's also fine. It's also fine. And then, but if you are going to put that effort into capturing things and then not post it, what is the reason that you're capturing that in the first place, right? And then you want to know what? I think that we don't give ourselves enough permission to keep posting content after the fact. You want to know what?
Yes.
Alvaro kept posting all of his videos until it was like several months later after SIOR.
Yeah.
And I don't think that the value of his content diminished because of that. And you want to know why? Also, it was because it was about the people and the connections, right? And so the framing and the messaging of the content was, even though it was captured and about SIOR, extended so much, had so much more evergreen potential than
Right.
just, but so don't not give yourself permission to post something because it happened a few weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Don't worry about the timeline. So so here are some common mistakes to avoid before we close this out. Waiting until after the event to post everything, right? As we saw with Alvaro, though, in a separate situation, he had individual interviews and he started posting them, right? When we're talking about waiting until after the event, just sitting there and not doing anything with it.
Yeah.
Right. Don't just sit on the content and not do anything with it.
You'll have a lot more power if you're posting in room.
Only posting salesy like messages like, hey, we're at this booth. That's not doing anybody any favors. You should have done that weeks before to let people know where you were and to set up appointments to connect with them, right? That is when you should be doing that. Forgetting to tag people or companies or the event conference, right? Don't forget. Right. And then if you're posting on the fly with the person that's with you, right? Ask them what their handle is, because you might choose the wrong person. And then that happens, right?
I've literally made all of these mistakes in my career.
I have too, all the time. And then also over editing. If causing you to, if you're so caught up in the idea of creating perfection that it prevents you from posting, post. Don't try to over edit it. Don't overthink it. So it is conference season, obviously, is here. We've got so much stuff going on. I want to see your content from these conferences. I would love for you to tag Fly and I and say, hey, what do you think? And we'll critique your stuff. We'll be nice, maybe.
I have very explicit directions from people that should be less nice. So anyway.
Yes. All right. So we will see you back here on Tuesday, which is after Labor Day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we're done selling tickets for CREI Summit, correct?
I think we're locked, but I'm not sure.
If you've been on the fence, contact Ken Ashley and ask him, hey, can I still get in? He might be able to make some room for you. Very excited to be there. I think, when are you flying out on we can talk about this later. Don't forget, we have Social Mastery VIP. It is our school group where we talk about the entire marketing ecosystem. We would love to have you guys join us in there. We go through it all, and we have a bunch of fun doing it, and we'd love to see you in there. We also have a free group, which gives a lot of the tips and tricks that we talk about here on Social Surge. We will see you back here on Tuesday, bright and early, and I hope everybody has a great and safe Labor Day weekend.